lovely.
Hey, Sarge, look at this.
Hey, Abdul! They went that way. Abdul! Your mates, they went flashing through here in a herd of camels about an hour ago.
Gentlemen, I've been examining this aeroplane.
Yeah?
Yes. We have everything here that we need to build a new one and fly it out. Now, if you would like to have a look at my calculations, I don't know whether you can read my handwriting.
Are you trying to be funny?
What did you say?
I said, are you trying to be funny?
That is precisely the reaction I would have expected from a man of your obvious limitations. Here. Thank you.
That an oil journal you're reading?
No.
You're not in this line, then?
Line?
Well, yes, I mean drilling, oil.
Oh, I'm a designer.
Oh, really? What, furniture, that sort of thing?
Oh, Mr. Moran, aeroplanes. I'm an aircraft designer.
Are you? Then you really meant what you said about getting this thing out of here?
Did you think I was joking, perhaps?
No, Mr. Dorfman. That I didn't think.
You will see we have all we need. Welding torches, steel cable, all the tools we would need.
For example, this here, it all looks quite adequate. Why were they being returned?
Well, you know what engineers are like. They just love shiny new tools, especially if someone else is paying for them.
The prototype I have in mind would have to fly at the first attempt. To achieve that, Mr. Moran, requires a pilot of quite outstanding capabilities.
Granted, this may not be the best possible advertisement, but Frank Towns is probably one of the few really great pilots left in this push-button world of yours.
Oh, really?
Yes, oh, really. He was flying by the seat of his pants in planes that were nothing more than bits and pieces before you even went to school.
That is precisely what is wrong. He has remembered everything and learned nothing. However, since he apparently finds it necessary to run off into the desert in pursuit of a lunatic who could be of no practical value to this project. The question is entirely academic. Don't you think so, Mr. Moran?
I agree. Entirely academic.
You all right?
We're stuck here, Lou. You know that, don't you?
Frank, I talked to Dorfman again. I realize that he, you know, irritates you. But, I do think he knows more than we give him credit for.
Well, what's he dreamed up now?
Well, maybe he hasn't a leg to stand on. I don't know. But you're the only person who's even remotely qualified to tell him so, and all I'm asking you to do is to talk to him. Well, just talk to him.
All right, I'll talk to him, Lou. If it makes you happy, I'll talk to him.
There's no component problem. The port boom is undamaged, and so, of course, are all the port side components. If we remove the starboard wing and attach it to the port boom and perform a similar operation on the tailplane, you'll see that we'll have the basis of an entirely new and aerodynamically sound structure. Is that understood?
Oh, absolutely.
We need only to clear the port engine of the sand that choked it in flight. The Kaufman starter is serviceable. And we should have no difficulty starting up the engine. And if we don't waste too much fuel on signals to Captain Harris, who is unlikely to be in any condition to benefit from them, we shall have enough of that as well. Most of the hydraulic fluid has leaked away, but I have worked out direct rut and cable control, so that is no problem.
All right, now, what are you going to use for an undercarriage?
Our last landing rendered the undercarriage unserviceable. However, there's enough H-section in the cargo monorail and hull longerons to make up a skid cradle for takeoff.
Skid cradle?
Well, skis, Mr. Moran. Skis. In order to take off, we shall have to move the final structure to the valley beyond that far dune. The surface there should be adequate. Now, as to whether it will fly, as far as the general design factors are concerned, there are no special problems. The center of gravity will allow us to distribute the payload. That means ourselves on both wings.
Now, wait a minute. Are you suggesting we string people on the top of that wing like so many sacks of potatoes?
They'll be behind fairings, of course.
Never mind about the fairing. We got an injured man in there. The doctor says he can't even be moved. Now, you're suggesting we tack him onto this thing and bounce him around like a wrangler in a rodeo?
That is not what I had in mind, Mr. Towns. With the material and personnel available, this project would require at least 12 days. How long did you say Mr. Scarnati might be expected to live? 6 days?
Perhaps less.
See? The problem does not even arise. Mr. Scarnati will remain here.
Oh, you really are miserable.
Even with the man on them, the wing loading is going to be half that of the Skytruck. Because we shall leave the hull, starboard boom, undercarriage, and so on the ground. Now, any more questions?
Yeah, I have a few. Now, let's see if I've got this straight. You're just going to unzip that starboard wing and lift it up all the way over from the other side and tack it onto this port boom. Is that correct?
Well, yes. The tapers will be, of course, the wrong way, but...
The tapers? Forget about the tapers. You know what that wing weighs?
Estimated at something just over a ton.
Just about right. Now, there are 8 of us. Do you think you can lift 250 pounds, Mr. Dorfman?
We use wedges and levers, Mr. Towns. There's also a winch, and we can construct an A-frame.
All right, we'll have levers and wedges, and we'll throw in a winch. Look, this bunch is living on pressed dates with a sip of water every once in a while. In a couple of days from now, nobody's going to have the strength to do anything around here.
That is a very good point. The heavy work will need to be done first. The wing will have to be moved tonight.
Tonight?
Yes. I've worked out a simple winding gear for use with the starboard generator, which will keep the batteries charged and provide adequate lighting. I see no other immediate problems. Unless you have some more questions, I still have some calculations to make.
It just can't work.
All right, maybe it can't. Maybe it can't and we'll all be killed. But if there's just one chance in 1,000 that he has got something, boy, I'd rather take it than just sit around here waiting to die.
You there, Mr. Crow. We shall need those panels again. You must be more careful.
All right, Heinrich, I'll watch it. He's a lovely little fella. A little ray of sunshine.
A slow, steady turn is quite sufficient. You'll be relieved in about half an hour. Don't let that needle drop below 80. That one there. 80, huh? That's right.
Now, we pull on 3. 1, 2, 3. Leave both of the bolts in place until the trestle is ready to take the weight. As soon as you finish that, Mr. Moran, once you've finished that, would you please come to the tail end? I'll mark out the assembly for you.
Somebody's been stealing water out of this tank.
Stealing the water? What do you mean? Who in the hell would do a thing like that? Let me Skipper, are you sure? Yeah, how much is gone?
I started checking on it yesterday.
How do you like that?
Now, I don't even want to know who it is, but I'm telling you this. If it happens again and I see who's doing it, I'll kill him.
It was me.
Nutsake pig! It was you?
Bloody fool.
In any case, I didn't steal it. I took it.
You took it. The people here could die for lack of water, and you took it!
Yes, because whilst you people have been sleeping or pursuing your own ridiculous little interests, I have been working. And since I was working harder than you were, I also needed more water than you did. However, it won't happen again. Because from now on, we shall all work equally hard. Is it clear now?
No, it isn't. But maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe you'll have to explain it to me. If you think being some kind of a boy wonder entitles you to other people's water, you've got another thing. Why did you have to steal it? Why didn't you just come and ask me for it?
Because you wouldn't have given me any.
You're damn right I wouldn't!
That's all set.
I think we are ready to proceed. All right? Go! What's the point of that?
Oh, I don't know. I just thought I'd give it a name.
What sort of a name's that supposed to be?
It's a bird. The phoenix was a mythical bird that burned itself to ashes and rose.
I'm not bloody stupid, you know.
Flat, holding on to the ribs of the windscreen.
We testing this engine today? Mr. Dorfman, it's time we tested this engine.
I think you can leave things to me, Mr.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm not forgetting you're the designer, but if you want me to fly this thing...
This thing has a name. It's called an aeroplane.
All right, it's an aeroplane. I'd have a lot more respect for it if I knew the engine worked.
The engine was running perfectly until the sand blocked the carburetor jets in flight. There's no reason why it shouldn't run as it did before. Unless you haven't cleaned the jets properly, in which case I'd advise you to do it again.
Now listen, those sand screens are clear, and I've checked everything under that cowling pretty thoroughly. And if I'm to fly this machine, I'm going to test run that engine today.
If we'd start this engine now, the vibration will put unnecessary strain on the whole structure. Furthermore, there are only 7 cartridges in the Kaufman starter. It could take 4 or 5 to start the engine, leaving us only with 2 or 3 when we are ready to depart. I imagine even you will understand that once we have used all 7 cartridges, we have no further means of starting this engine.
Any doubt about starting this engine? Now is the time to find out.
Mr. Downs, you behave as if stupidity were a virtue. Why is that? Mr. Downs, who is in authority here?
You are.
Very well, then. Since I am in authority, I have decided to finish this plane and make it fly. We shall now go back to work.
Clear?
Clear.
You're wasting the cartridges. We have only 3 left.
I know that.
What are you doing?
I'm going to use 1 cartridge, ignition off, clean out the cylinder.